Today, we're diving into the truly strange and terrifying case of Herbert Mullin. This is a man who was convinced, absolutely convinced, that he had to commit murder to stop California from being destroyed by earthquakes. Yeah, you heard that right. His story is one of the most bizarre and brutal in the history of crime. A human sacrifice. Herb Mullin. Can you imagine? This is how he would sign letters he sent to total strangers. It's just, it's such a chilling glimpse into the delusion that was about to turn his world and the world of his victims upside down. So let's just look at the numbers for a second. 13 victims in just 4 months. The speed and the brutality of his spree were shocking, but the really haunting question is, why? We're about to get into the one single, twisted reason he believed justified all of it. Okay, to really wrap our heads around the killer, we have to look at the person he was supposed to become. And Herbert Mullin's story, well, it's like a tale of two completely different people living in the same body. I mean, look at this. In high school, Mullin was the guy who had everything going for him. He was popular, he was a varsity athlete, and his classmates actually voted him most likely to succeed. Literally, no one could have seen the terrifying freefall that was coming next. So what happened? What on earth went so wrong? Well, the whole thing started to unravel in his late teens. That's when the first cracks in his reality started to show, and the warning signs became, well, impossible to miss. The answer, and really the key to this whole story, lies in this devastating diagnosis: paranoid schizophrenia. It was this severe mental illness that would completely hijack his mind and set him on a path of absolute destruction. So what does that actually mean for someone? Well, to put it simply, paranoid schizophrenia makes a person lose their grip on what's real and what isn't. They can have these incredibly strong beliefs that have zero basis in fact. We call those delusions. And they might see or hear things that nobody else can. Those are hallucinations. And for Mullin, these symptoms weren't just occasional. They became his entire world. The reality of his illness was just horrifying. He started hearing voices that were ordering him to do things. He was so tormented that in one instance, he actually burned his own penis with a cigarette. He was completely trapped in a world of delusions, just desperately trying to make sense of a reality that was shattering all around him. You know, it was only a matter of time before all that chaos inside his head spilled out into the real world. His delusions started to crystallize into this terrifying mission, and he was about to claim his first sacrifice. This is the date, October 13th, 1972. This is the day that all of Herbert Mullin's violent, twisted fantasies became a horrific reality. His first victim was a man named Lawrence White, a homeless man just trying to get by. Mullin approached him and, out of nowhere, beat him to death with a baseball bat. It was a brutal, seemingly senseless act of violence, but in Mullin's mind, it made perfect sense. Because in his fractured reality, this murder was a necessary sacrifice. Mullin truly believed that his own father was telepathically commanding him to kill people. Why? To prevent a massive, catastrophic earthquake from swallowing California. In his mind, he wasn't a murderer, he was a hero. So, with this mission now officially started, Mullin's violence didn't just continue, it snowballed at a terrifying rate. Every murder was just another sacrifice to keep the ground from shaking. And the violence escalated fast. Just 11 days after that first murder, he picked up a hitchhiker named Mary Guilfoyle. He stabbed her, disemboweled her, and scattered her organs on the side of the road. It was just this unbelievably gruesome act that showed how quickly he was descending into pure chaos. From there, his delusion got a religious twist. He walked right into a church and stabbed a priest, Father Henry Tomei, to death right inside his own confessional booth. Why? Because Mullin believed the priest had telepathically volunteered to be his next sacrifice. His so-called mission made him more and more indiscriminate. It didn't matter who you were. He came across 4 teenagers who were just camping out in the woods, and he murdered every single one of them, execution style. Complete strangers chosen at random to serve his delusional cause. And when it was all over, in just 4 months, his warped quest to save California left a trail of 13 innocent victims. But believe it or not, the story doesn't stop when he gets caught.
Mullin's time in prison has one of the most bizarre, unexpected final chapters you could possibly imagine.
Seriously, what do you think happens when you put a killer who thinks he's a hero in the same room as a killer who knows he's a monster? You get something very, very strange. Because sharing a prison block with Mullin was none other than Edmund Kemper, the co-ed killer. Now, Kemper was not only highly intelligent, he was a massive, intimidating guy, standing at a terrifying 6'9". And let's just say he did not like his new neighbor.
So according to Kemper himself, he just couldn't stand Mullin's constant singing. So he decided to do something about it. He'd throw water on Mullin to shut him up, and when Mullin was quiet, when he was a good boy, he'd give him peanuts. You heard that right. In a twist you just can't make up, one of America's most infamous serial killers literally trained another one like a pet.
When you look at the whole picture, the story of Herbert Mullin is just a tragedy from every possible angle. It's a really stark, chilling reminder of how a promising life can be completely shattered by severe mental illness and the catastrophic violent fallout that can happen when a mind completely loses its grip on reality.